Test, test, test. Let's go ahead and start. We'll catch them up. We get going. So call this meeting to order. We have 6 members present right now. 2 absent, 3 absent, including member Woolrab, who's now not on the board. So we do have a quorum. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Need approval of the minutes of November 16th and December 13th. Motion by member Schaefer, second by member Solner. Any comments or questions, additions, or corrections? If none, all in favor, please say aye. I'll try. Opposed? Motion has carried. Member Metzger is here. We don't have any appearance by members of the public today. We're going to Departmental Matters Executive Committee. I have appointments and reappointments before you, which is item A. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by member Solner, second by member Barnett. Comments or questions? Discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Next item that we have on the executive report is the Behavioral Health Coordinating Council. I would like to welcome, Vanessa Granger Belcher to join us. I don't know if you've met everybody yet, Vanessa, but thanks for coming up. And welcome to being on board. We have 4 items for action, items D, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I believe we can combine these 4 actions or items. Is there any objection? They're all contracts for fuse and triage. It's all under the same budget. Thank you. Motion by member Schaefer. Is there a second? Second by member Martin. Any comments, questions, discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Yes, sir.
I guess just on the outset, is there, are most of these just renewals? Are they new contracts, and have there been increases in cost?
You know the cost increase, because I do not.
Sorry. So this is a process that's already been in motion. There's no additional cost at this point in time. This is a credentialing and opportunity to bill for some of the services that we're rendering that we haven't ever in the past. So this is actually a potential revenue that we haven't had, but nothing is finalized at this point. Everything is still in the process, and this is just new contracts that we've been offered at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion has passed. Thank you very much, Vanessa. And we have been working together here for a few days now with staff, and so she'll be around to continue with fuse and triage and many other projects as we go along. Let's go to item B, Finance Committee. Chairman Metzger.
Thank you, Chairman. We have 4A. 4B, 1A, request approval of the 2022 HAVAT Election Security Grant Acceptance Agreement, and that is found on page 38 through 43, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
4B, 1B, request approval of the 2022 Voter Registration State Grant Acceptance Agreement on 44 through 45, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger. Is there a second? Second by member Martin. Comments or questions? Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has passed.
4B, 1C, request approval of emergency appropriation amending the McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation budget for the county clerk's department, 46 through 47, and I so move. That's actually just taking that money and putting it into the budget.
Okay.
And I so move.
So it's moving money over. Thank you. Motion by member Metzger. Is there a second? Second by member Barnett. Comments or questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is passed.
4B1D, request approval, emergency appropriation ordinance amending McLean County fiscal year 2022 combined annual appropriation budget under the administration department 48 through 50, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Metzger, second by member Schaefer. Comments or questions? All in favor, please. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to get back where I can see you here.
Thank you. So I listened to the finance committee, the other day on the YouTube, and I was having a little trouble hearing, but, I want to make sure I understand this. So this is going to, pay employees grades 1 through 12, and then also, it's also going to exclude members or employees that worked from home. Is that correct?
Yes. Go ahead.
You want to go ahead and answer, and then,
Absolutely, if I may, thank you. Yes, you have that information correct. This would exclude those who work from home, and that is per the rules, the interim rule of the American Rescue Plan Act.
And then up to grade 12, as far as salaries or pay goes, how many people are above 12, or how many people would that exclude?
So for those employees who are grade 13 or higher, those are your elected officials and department heads. We figured that there are 34 people
Okay,
that would exclude.
okay,
And so this premium pay was really for those who kept needed services continued through the pandemic, those boots on the ground.
okay,
We want to recognize those people.
okay. All right, again, I never did get a number on what, and again, I knew it was department heads and electeds, but I didn't take the time to count those, so, okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, member Solner. Member Metzger.
I would just like to clarify something also, and that has to do with, there are people who worked sometimes at home and sometimes in the office, and it is, the calculation is based on pay period. So they may have one pay period that they didn't work at all in the office. However, another pay period, they may have worked in the office. So some people may get, if they work the entire time, let's just say a corrections officer could get the entire amount, where somebody else someplace else may get a third or a half or whatever it would be. So it's not per person, there's probably, but it is per pay period.
Thank you. Thanks for that explanation, because I'm trying to figure that out as well. Anybody else have questions? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion has passed.
And we will have 2 items to be presented to the board on Thursday.
Thank you very much. We'll go on to the report of the Health Committee. Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has no items for action today, but we will have an item for the board on Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Report of the Justice Committee, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Justice Committee has 6 items for action. The first item is item 4D1A, request approval of an amendment to the grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and the County of McLean, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed.
Next item is item 4D1B, request approval of a resolution to provide services to McLean County State's Attorney's Office by the Office of the State's Attorney's Appellate Prosecutor, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member, anyone? Member Martin, comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Next item is item 4D1C, request approval of an amendment to the grant agreement between the Illinois Association of court-appointed special advocates and CASA of McLean County, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried.
Next item is item 4D1D, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Illinois, Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and the county of McLean, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Solner. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has passed.
Next item is item 4D1E, request approval of County Sheriff Support Program Financial Support Conditions and Certification, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passed.
Last item is item 4D1F, request approval of a non-congregate sheltering reimbursement agreement between Emergency Management Agency and Illinois State University, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. And opposed? Motion is passed.
Mr. Chairman, the Justice Committee has no other items for action, and we have 2 additional items to be presented to the board.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to the report of Land Use and Development Committee. Chairman Wendt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Land Use and Development. Action. We have item E1A. I thought I had it on. Let's see, E1, item to be presented, request approval to initiate amendments to section 350-55 of the McLean County zoning ordinance pursuant to section 350-21B and C of the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Wendt. Is there a second? Second by Member Metzger. Comments or questions? Member Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did read the memo here, and it says we members, Klein, Johnston, and Metzger, but I do want to point something out through my years of experience of sitting on this county board. You may recall the July 15th, 2021 meeting of the county board, and at the end of that meeting, after we had talked about the Bellflower Wind project, I had said that after talking to some of the members, in particular 2 members of the other party, I said there might be areas where we might find bipartisan agreement. If you want the source of that, you can go to YouTube at 42 minutes and 51 seconds when I said that. But I did say that, and I remember saying it because I had recalled that when I was talking to members of the other party, I thought, well, you know, there might be areas where we might agree on some things here. And so after that meeting, I did take the opportunity to call Member Johnston. And I said, what you ought to do is you ought to lead the charge on this. And you ought to see if we can find some bipartisan agreement where we might be able to make some changes where everybody would agree to it. And I did talk to her occasionally as she went through the process, but this is the culmination of some of that work. I would also add here that I used to chair the Land Use Committee, and it was during the period when I chaired it that I had asked that the Land Use Committee be given authority to write ordinances. And so I didn't want to see the Land Use Committee lose that authority by the combination of the Land Use and Transportation Committee. So it was also myself, I know I'm patting myself on the back, but why not? It was also myself that contacted legal. Legal had not brought it up. I brought it up to the legal that I think you might need to change the ordinance to say land use and transportation. And so I am happy to see this all come through. But I would note that sometimes when you do listen, when you're talking to members of the other party, occasionally you do find areas of agreement if you just choose to explore them at a later date. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for those words. Member Metzger.
I want to thank Member Erickson for this, and I will tell you, I sent a draft initially, and your name was on it. When I saw this, your name was not on it, but your name was originally placed on this memo to the Land Use and Development Committee, or land, and so I just want you to understand that it was an omission, not by intent, but it was there. In addition, I do want to acknowledge the fact that that you drove having the Land Use and Development Committee to be able to bring text amendment changes. And so, again, a kudo to you on both accounts. And I apologize that there was an omission on this, but you were a part, and we do appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Member Solner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, I was able to listen to the Land Use Committee meeting by YouTube. I wasn't able to attend. And I suspected there was a little bit of pushback by some administration or from someone that they didn't know how to get notification out to people, that were, the landowners or whatever that were being affected by many wind, 5 or more wind towers or whatever. And to me, I think it's important that those people get notified no matter, I don't really want to say no matter what the cost is, but, certified mail, regular mail, some people don't get their mail, whatever it takes. I think it's a matter, those people need to be notified. And sometimes just publishing something in the paper is just not enough. So, especially the fact, we get money back from wind farms and for applications and all kinds of fees. So I think there's money there to pay it. So I'm just adamant that we make sure that we get these people notified. So that's all. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Comments? Hearing none, we have a motion on the floor. Call the questions. All in favor of E1A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
And this has another item, and it's E1B. God, it was on it. Okay, E1B, request approval of the initial amendment to section 350-43 of the McLean County zoning ordinance pursuant to section 350-21B and C of the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Wendt. Is there a second? Second by Member Schaefer. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, we have another item, E1C, request approval to initiate amendments to section 350-26 of the McLean County Code, amending the definition of a farm as required by the Executive Committee of the McLean County Board, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Wendt. Is there a second? Anyone? Second by Member Metzger. Comments or questions? Any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
And Mr. Chairman, we have one more item, if I can get my paper there. And that is E1D, request approval to initiate amendments to section 350-21 of the McLean County zoning ordinance, clarifying the authority of the Land Use and Transportation Committee to initiate requests for amendments to the McLean County zoning ordinance, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Wendt. Is there a second? Second by Member Metzger. Comments or questions? Okay with this? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, the Land Use and Development Committee has no other items to present to the board, and then that's about it. Thank you
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Chairman Wendt. We'll go on to the report of the Property Committee, Chairman Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property has no items this evening. We'll bring forward one item for the board on Thursday night for their action then.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go to the report of Transportation Committee, Chairman Zollner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Transportation has one item for action, 4G1A, request approval of an agreement for the Stormwater Education Program Services. This is with the Ecology Action Center, and there's approximately a 3% increase, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Soldner. Is there a second? Second by Member Barnett. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
Transportation will have a number of items to present to the board. I'd be glad to answer any other questions.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll go on to the report of our county administrator, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. I have one item to be presented for action. It is H1A, request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board continuing the declaration of a disaster, and that's found on pages 151.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Schaefer. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion has carried.
Thank
have
you,
the floor.
Chairman. The other item that I would like to present tonight for information is just explanation of our bond rating. We are very pleased to announce that you can find on page 153 our latest published bond rating from Moody's Investors Service. We again reached a AA1 rating for our investments, and this is through our work with the Public Building Commission, and it relates to the bond that we are issuing in February. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
Thank you. And congratulations on the good work and the achievement on that rating. Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we don't have any other, do we have any other business this time? Member Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to give you a little update. Member Barnett and myself were involved in a Illinois Association of County Board Members legislative, I guess it was a Zoom meeting or a telephone meeting on Friday. And there were a number of bills that they were talking about. There was a couple things I wanted to just mention, kind of point out. The first one is there's a bill that will, I guess, force is probably the word, the state of Illinois to reimburse counties for members that are in jail that are supposed to be sent to the Department of Corrections. And so, as you all know, we've had a lot of that, at least during COVID and even before. So that is something that hopefully we'll support and will come to fruition, and that'll be good for the county. There was also discussion, and again, hopefully Member Barnett can correct me here, that they were looking at the possibility of maybe doing a sheriff's department reimbursement, much like they're doing for state's attorneys in the future. The State Sheriff's Association are working on that also. So that would be a good thing. Is that correct, Mr. Barnett? Okay. And then one other thing that I thought was interesting, there was a discussion on, I think it came from Shelby County, that they were having an issue with leasing farmland. County was having an issue with leasing farmland. And the discussion, again, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounded like they were talking about any leases between the county and any other group or whatever. And so my concern was with the way we lease our buildings through the Public Building Commission, if that was going to end up being a problem. So I haven't talked to Kelly Murray, but I need to talk to her to see if that was included. And again, maybe you can put some insight into that.
Yeah, the issue that Vice Chairman Solder is referring to, that there was the Shelby County Board owned some farmland and they wanted to lease it out to a farmer, as you would if you're not farming it, yourself. And there were some objections among some members of the board, and there were some groups involved who their interpretation of state statute was that Shelby
I
County,
believe,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, Shelby County did not have the authority to do that. Through our discussion, it seemed that really had to do up with how the state's attorney in that county was interpreting the way state statute read, and maybe not all counties were interpreting that the same way. The discussion progressed along. Apparently, in state statute, it is written, I believe, I don't know specifically for farmland or for all land, excuse me, but you have to have, I think it's 2/3 of a majority of the board to be able to approve that lease. And there was discussion happening about wanting to change that within state statute to possibly just be a majority of the board instead of 2/3 of the board. I think we're gonna circle back with it a little bit more in the next couple of weeks here, next time the committee meets, but.
I believe that's right. And again, it wasn't so much over the power to lease, it was changing it from a 3/4 to a simple majority. But again, it was something that kind of concerned me that, we do a lot of leases, and I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't an issue for us on other items.
Looks like it'd be
So,
a simple interpretation by the state attorney's
Yeah.
office as far as entering in with the contract, right?
I believe that's
Now,
right.
just for my information, but I believe not every county has a public building commission.
Right.
And so we've signed on, and that's the way that we operate. And so again, that doesn't seem to be an issue here. Anyone else? Yeah, Member Erickson.
Yeah, in regards to the reimbursement to the sheriffs or our county for the lack of Department of Corrections not taking the prisoners, Sheriff Sandage did discuss that at the last Justice Committee meeting, and it is a significant issue. And so I would like to be kept apprised of what's going on in regards to that. And if the Justice Committee needs to do anything, pass a resolution saying we'd support such a bill, or to whatever committee that would go to on this board, I'd like to see us support that.
Well, that'd probably be something to go to our legislative subcommittee as part of our lobbying that goes with it. And good
And
luck
I'm
with it.
making the request.
Yes, okay.
I think all the counties on that call were eager to get reimbursed.
Well, that's a no-brainer, but good luck with that, because it seems like to me that sometime or another, this is gonna have to be a state Supreme Court interpretation in order to force their hand in order to do that. But it's too bad that the situation is like that. But thank you for your efforts with the IACBM. Appreciate you guys doing that. Having been a former member, I appreciate what you do. Thank you. Member Schaefer.
Well, I guess I have a question on that too, aside from keeping us apprised of what's going on. But are they talking about in addition to what state already did? I mean, legislatively to make sure permanently that this will happen?
Yeah, again, this was in the association's legislative committee, again, which Member Barnett's a member of. And so they were talking about potential bills that were going to be introduced. And that's where Taylor Anderson, our representative, as far as at the General Assembly that does our liaison, he keeps apprised of that, as well as Kelly. And so again, it's something that's, that would be great if it would happen. And so I know they're going to keep an eye on it.
Okay, thank you. Any other business or communication at this time? If not, I have bills to pay in the amount from a regional planning, $4,495.25, and through our general fund and our shared sales tax and Veterans Administration and ARP Act funds that we now have, $483,796.45. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Member Martin. Is there a second? Second by Member Barnett. Comments or questions about our bills? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion has carried. We'll present those and take them on to our full board meeting. I have nothing else tonight. Stay warm, stay safe, be good to each other, and to yourself, and we'll see you Thursday. Meeting's adjourned.